welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, a series of cautionary tales for lovers of scream. I call this tale Her Majesty's Moly. There was a girl called Matty whose father hated garden moles. When she was old enough to hold a camera, he took Matty out on mole hunts. They would leave early in the morning before the moles were awake, drop loudspeakers down their holes, then pump drum and bass through the tunnels until the moles ran out. Then he'd bash them on the head with a spade. Me next, shouted Matty, but her father drew the line at spade work. It's too violent for a little girl like you, Matty. Have a rocket instead. And when you put a rocket down a mole hole, there tends to be only one winner. Matty had bagged her first mole. Unfortunately, the explosion had removed its front paw. So her father took it back to his potting shed and turned it into a souvenir key ring. Keep this always, Matty. Let it be a permanent reminder of our mole-mangling days together. Oh, I shall, Daddy. I shall call it Moly. And whenever I stroke its soft, silky fur, I shall remember the killing we've done together. What neither of them realised was that the poor owner of the paw was still very much alive and had limped to the hole of a mole doctor. That's doctor as in witch, not medicine. Good morning. How may I help you? Exorcism? Curse? Voodoo doll? Or haunting? Do you do revenge? Oh, I love a good revenge. Excellent. I'd shake your hand, but I haven't, sorry. And they went inside to throw some magic bones and to curse cruel Matty and her father to a horrible end. For those who don't know, the curse of a mole is really instantaneous. So Matty lived blissfully unaware of it for the next few years and carried on blowing up moles without a care in the world. Until the day of her father's accident. He missed the mole's head with his spade and hit his own foot. Ah! Oh, that hurts! He died 3 weeks later from gangrene. 200 million people watched his funeral. He wasn't just Matty's father, you see, but the Prime Minister of Great Britain as well. He was greatly missed by everyone. Except moles. Except one mole in particular. Old Three Paws himself. Now let my revenge commence. OK, you're the boss. It was after the funeral that Matty noticed it was gone. Someone's stolen my precious keyring. What will I sniff when I suck my thumb now? The house was turned upside down, but the silky paw could not be found. After the speeches, I did find the Queen snooping around your bedroom, said her mother. But queens tend not to steal. No, but dogs do. Matty suspected the Queen's corgis. But getting in to search a Queen's castle is not an easy thing to do. There we go. One forged invitation to the Queen's garden party. Mind you don't smudge the ink. Is there anything you can't do? Well, I'm not very good at setting the video. When Matty's royal invitation plopped through the letterbox, she could not believe her luck. Sometimes I think I've got a fairy godmother, said the murderer of moles. Matty and her mother turned up at the palace for the garden party. But Matty never saw the garden. She spent her time indoors, hunting for Molly. She looked everywhere, from dungeon to tower, from banqueting hall to throne room. She looked under the corgis, inside liveried footmen, and behind old beef-eaters from a bygone age. But nowhere did she find it. Then, just as she was leaving, she happened to glance at the hall table, where the Queen's car keys were lying in the Queen's car key bowl. And there it was. Soft, smooth, silky grey, and blood-stained with memories.
I'm sorry, miss, but I believe you've got something that belongs to Her Majesty.
No, lied Matty. She wasn't losing her mole-maiming memories again.
A keyring, perhaps?
I don't know what you mean. My daddy was a Prime Minister.
And my daddy was a thief, which is why I'm so good at catching them.
She was charged, tried, and sent to prison for 3 years. But the Queen paid an unexpected visit to her cell.
One used to strangle moles oneself, you know, when one was a princess. So one is familiar with the lovely smell and feel of mole skin.
I can't live without it, Your Majesty.
No, and for that reason one is granting you...
Not a pardon?
No, not a pardon.
Oh,
You can keep the keyring, okay?
What the Queen was not telling Matty was that she didn't want it. Since that peculiar-looking corgi had deposited the keyring in her lap, strange things had been occurring to the royal face. You mean a curse can sometimes overspill and affect others?
Only if they're guilty of the same offence.
Oh, right. There, that's got it working.
Excellent. I can record the cricket now.
For 3 years, Matty lay happily in her prison cell, snuggled up to Molly, blissfully unaware of the curse of old Three Paws. But on the day of her release, she was given a mirror for the first time in 3 years and told to check her appearance. Ah! Her face was as furry as a gooseberry. The curse had covered her in moleskin from top to toe. On the way home, so many people stared at her furry face that Matty locked herself away from the world. She smashed all light bulbs so that nobody could see her face at night. And during the day, she stayed away from the windows by crawling around the house through a network of tunnels that she dug under the floor. And she's still there today. Matty the Mole Killer, living underground in the dark. Oh, by the way, if you should ever be lurking outside the Queen's bathroom and hear shaving from within...
Begone, foul moleskin!
Now you'll know why!